Peace and blessings, royal family. It's been a quick minute since we chopped it up, you know. There's lessons out here, lots of lessons, lots of people that need help. You know, going around trying to assist. It's my job, it's my duty. So if I'm disappear from one spot, trust me, I appear in someplace else doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. You know, one thing about it, it's kind of addictive. And that's what happens when you get addictive. It's hard to extract yourself from it, you know? And one thing is, it's not me that get addicted, it's the people or whatever to the system, to the knowledge, to the theology, to God. It's actually what we're going to talk about now, you know what I'm saying? Let's look at everything on the whole. You look at life. If you're going to look at life, you have to look through your eyes. But the thing to that is that your eyes, your ears, your mouth, your nose, you know, your five senses, they're receivers of information. They're not transmitters of information. What that means is like you can only respond to things. If you leave you alone in an empty room, you fucked up. I just keep it that simple. So a lot of us grew up that way, where we intermingle like animals. You know, the basics of mesmerism, which is like an animal magnetism. You look at your dog, you look at your cat, you know. So I just was reading an article about a dog that when the owners had moved from the house, they moved 200 miles to another side of the, you know, continent or the United States, and the dog actually stood with their neighbor or whatever. He adopted the dog, but the dog ran away, and I think it was 2 months later, the dog showed up at the house, and they were surprised as hell to see it, which they saying went through valleys, mountains, all types of stuff just to get there. But the point is, mesmerism, animal magnetism, the faithful, the loyal, you know, that's inside of us, and that's a weakness that they use against us, and we use against each other too. Think about it. We all quick to fall in love and get into a relationship, get a homeboy, a homegirl, a friend, companionship, a partner. Don't get me wrong. Those are all important qualities just for your daily health and for you to function in society. But it's the addiction to it, the habitualness in it, that you lose your consciousness. Now, a lot of us, because of this mesmerism, right, and animal magnetism, we attract ourselves and roll in these packs, these groups of people, just like the animals, you know, a bunch of wolves, bunch of coyotes, hyenas, every animal run in pack. Us as human beings, we're not animals. You know, you was born by yourself, you're gonna die by yourself, and your journey is to be God, deity. It's not to stay with the wolf pack mentality or run with the posse or the pack forever, because in there it's confusion. When two minds get together, that's egotism. You're talking. I'm this, I'm that. My family's this, my family's that. This is going on. Ego talk. When you be quiet, your inner God talk. Most of it can't even be translated into words. It's action. So there you go. You got two. You roll with the pack, and you follow what society say. You become a meme. Something definable. When you by yourself, you something undefinable. Today's time, this becomes so sacred. Your name. Mine's Damien Samuels, capital D, lowercase A-M-E-A-N, capital S, lowercase A-U-E-L-S or whatever it is. All right. That's me. Nobody could touch that. That's a commonwealth citizen, a common person. You adhere to the common law. You adhere to the Supreme Court and the Constitution. But pull out your ID and see whose name is on there. Is it small case and then the rest lowercase and so forth for your name? No, it's not. It's in all capital letters. That means you're not actually being subject to this environment. It's not talking to you. It's talking to a system it designed with you being the trustee of the estate. The estate is your body. So you going around with your eyes thinking what you're seeing is what it is, you all fucked up. You don't know what is going on. And that's what the problem is. We judging things with our eyes. That's what this talk about. That's why I stopped at eyes. We look with our eyes. We believe everything we see. Go back to the five senses. What control your five senses? Your endocrinology system. What control your endocrinology system? The stars. The moon. You get emotional, the tide goes up. You see the water over there? I watch it every time. I could tell people emotions, how they're going to be by when it's close up to the water like this. See, I always walk on that side right here where the tire is at. You can see it. It's never this high. But when it's this high, emotions run up. People is temperamental. People got short fuses. Animal magnetism tell you that you're not in yourself. You're not in control. Right now, when it's that type of situation, the zodiac could predict you. So you go read your horoscope and it tell you what you're going to do. And you know what you do? You act it out. You think that's what happened. You believe any circumstances that happen to you, you equate it to that. Most of us, actually, the influences of it, being that it's predictable, is it. But, just like Aster, or astral with the L, which is spirit, your astral body, your sidereal body, that's who you really are. Aster. Put the S on it, that's the star. You're a star, but your star is what? The star in you is the desire, pleasure. Desire is the same as star, which give you Diablo. All of these things is an aspect of yourself that if you allow yourself to fall into, you really believe it. So now you have the Aster, where you get your star from. So you're a star being that is chasing desires. When you do that, you light up the sky. Excuse me. All the stars up there is y'all desires, our desires. You're going to be those stars, stuck in something that humans observe and call a law. There's no law. They don't know what happened. But to them, they observe it and they can predict it, so it becomes a law. Oh, it's a star that's always there. The sun always goes from rises in the east and settles down in the west. Oh, you know, this is the north and this is the south. Let's think about it. I'm going to give you something real to think about. When you go to Eastern doctrines, the original way that from everything was published, because ain't nothing happened in the West. This is today. It just started yesterday. So we go to Eastern knowledge. You know, in the East, south is up, north is down. Let me do one of my homeboy that I be watching shit. South is up, north is down. You get that? East is our west, and west is our their east. When you come to the Western world, everything is turned around. So, when they tell you you're going up to God, everything is up. Nah, it's not. It's down. And what's down is telling you is up. It's opposite. Look at it for what it is. Go look it up yourself. So when we interpret it and we make it what it is, this is why it don't make no sense. How come you go in for inspiration, insight, intuition, which is Aga? That's why you see a lot of Aganon, Agatha in the earth, the world inside. That's where you at. Where's God? Inside. What outside? There is no outside. There's no up. There's no down. It's your perception. What tricked you to believe these things is the same thing. It's like standing on the earth. You in America, China, whatever. Both of y'all point. If they point down, you point down. That's his up. And if he point down, that's your up. My logic is simple. The senses got you in a spell that they're using against you, and you have to relieve yourself all the way from your mind and your senses for you to understand what's going on. The God is in you, and they already know everything. But as long as you're feeding yourself information from them, you're going to stay human. Human need instructions. Back to mesmerism and the animal attraction. We are loyal to each other because of that. We're faithful to each other. We follow each other because of the simple fact. Not when we're talking knowledge, not in reference to fake YouTube, Facebook, not that type of follow. No, not at all. I mean, in your individual life, who you deal with on a daily basis. What do you do after you get off work? Do you just go and get into your studies and research, go meditate? Do you go hang out, go get some drinks, chill, then go home to your kids, then go home to your husband? It's like you never really get to know who you are. You know, all of us, let me break it down a little more. When you're born, the doctor come, right? You're in the astral form. You didn't even want to come out here. You come out crying. Somebody trapped you in the soul trap. That's it. That's what's called the soul trap. You know, that's a Dolderbroff. He made it. Anytime you go and chase this desire and pleasure, which is our greatest one, having sex, we put a life and suck a soul into it. The soul ain't asked to be here. Not one of y'all asked to be here. Y'all got sucked here. It's the soul trap made for the Illuminati, the elite. Who's the elite? Anybody who could educate themselves. You see, they took that word out. Elite only means the educated. But since they took out education and dumped y'all down with the board of education shit, they got the real occult books, metaphysics books, and they know the truth. So they're elite because they're educated. They're not elite because they have money, because money is not real. They know how to make money. Once you're elite, money is made automatically just because they have this. It's the knowledge. You have to know this knowledge. So this is what you want to develop. Not looking around judging, I'm black. Who told you you're black? You ain't fucking black. They ain't white either. You buying into a system. You believe it, it becomes real. Because now you believe you're a slave. And they was your master. And we came from Africa. Who wrote that shit? Tyler Perry? Come on, man. Y'all gotta be real with yourself to understand what's going on. Take yourself out of their mind, out of their world. Everybody's supposed to be a god with their own world, with their own mind. But somehow, somewhere, somebody slipped up that we in somebody's mind. It's simple. I am not even making this up. Think about it, my shirt. Shirt period. Somebody sat and thought about it. It was once in their mind, then they made it. The design on my shirt, somebody sat and thought about it and it became real. The ring on my finger, somebody sat and thought about it and it became real. My pants, somebody sat. A car, somebody sat and thought about it. A house, somebody sat. So take away everything somebody thought about. Only thing you got here is dirt, rocks, trees, grass, water, air. Who thought of that? Then you get to know the theory of God. You gotta respect the truth, it's real. So on that mind, everything you deal with and is actually now on this plane that we're gonna leave for a second of just natural things, is what you need to be studying. Let's take I'm a producer. They always get Fruity Loops. It's the beat maker or Pro Tools. You make your music in there. So it's all right. It's mediocre. This is good enough. You want better. You hear the competition. You hear what's on the radio. This is me now. And you want to go against it. So what you do, you study their stuff. You spend your life learning what somebody in there has sat down and wrote out, packaged it up into an app, and it's now you're playing with it. Leaving what you're supposed to do to play with an app, play with a program, play with a profession, play with whatever you want to think of as man-made. You're playing with something that's distracting you. You can indulge in it, yeah, but don't master it because you ain't master God. You ain't mastered the stuff that was here before they started with their thoughts adding on to it. You wake up in the middle of the story and you come into the crib, Pro Tools, this, that, and you just buy into it. You don't have to even concerned about how did this shit get to be this? How the Egyptians got big ass statues the size of motherfucking skyscrapers, and here we are building mattress stick box. Shit that I could kick through and walk through your whole house from one side of the house to the neighbor house with my feet. Straight up gangster style if you want to. Them houses is paper, man. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. That's why the feds incorporate that in the FDIC system or whatever. It's supposed to be cement houses, man. Cement all the way. Real houses. And they want y'all to pay millions for that. But the houses we designed to, you can hear your neighbor fucking while you're in this house. But that's not the point. Let's stick to the story. All right. So now, we have the loyalty of ourselves with the animals. We're just the same. And this is the whole thing to what I'm saying. When we do that, we buy into empathy and love and everything in the sense where you can see you have a lot to learn to know what truth is and the difference between good and bad. Because, for instance, we feel to sympathize more for each other than we would actually say, let me make a sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? So you will see people packed together. Then when even one try to break off and be different, the rest is ready to criticize and to, tell them, yo, something is wrong with you. This is not right. It's like the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the days, The Racer, where you wake up and you find out the truth, but everybody now is plotting against you. Like, yo, he woke up, get him. He found out his wife ain't really his wife. His friends was just keeping him passive so that he won't wake up. All of this is 100% real. So if you get this now, then you will understand. When we're being programmed, we're watching TV. We're listening to each other because one of them is the main programmer and brings it to the table and we all sit down and discuss it. You're discussing things that make your language or your minds like go into a low state. Like if you don't talk, you have so much flowing through you if you got a soul in you and a lot. But when you have to compromise everything, which we all have to do, because we all made these mistakes, made these families, make these relationships, everything that's going to make us a consumer, a citizen. Back to now, with the parent and the child thing, because now it's coming back, so I got to run back. All this is circles and circles and circles, so they will come back. So with the parent thing now, and I was talking about the child and us finding ourselves, when we leave when we come out and the doctor slap us, we leave that astral world. We leave the whole of God's mind where we know it, everything, the Akashic record, which is really Nibiru. That's what Nibiru is, and then you cross over, which is what a Hebrew is. Everything holds its proper place in this. So now, when you get slapped by the doctor, you awaken to a reality that's unknown to you. But now, when you come in this reality, language is different. Everything is different. You have none. So you have to be taught these things. But inside you is your language. It's your personality, your character. Everything is already there. But you just have to learn this new way. So you have to learn how to talk, learn how to write, learn the alphabet. So that's a strike against your individuality right there. You have to do it in a sense that it's universal to your reality. Then at home, it's been already implemented long before, since the 1930s, of what Democratic parties, Republicans is, citizenship is, free the slaves and make them one of us, make them think they're good. So now, with that, you have to make up a system to make money. So they make up two parties, the Republican, Democrat. You vote now when you put us in power, and you be a good citizen. You go to work, and you just go brag to your friend, well, I'm on this party, and we got this, and my son go to school. That's what life is about to the parent. They don't give a fuck about your individuality, about having a situation that's going to make you improve upon your own self-character, personality by recognizing your qualities, your disadvantages, and help you bring them out and suppress those. Those will be what your parent main job would be. But they will beat you and tell you this and force you to do this. Go recite. In school, you don't learn, you recite. So it's not like you actually said, wow, yeah, this add up in my head, and you see it. No, you just taking information and then remembering it and killing all your other memories. So now you have a bunch of new memories you've been bombarded with, and now all of a sudden, you're not your same at home. Because you go out on the streets when you come out of school, or you're in school, niggas stepping on the back of your shoe, stealing your pencil, biting, and you've been taught to be a good boy. Say, no, don't do this. Until you get up one day and punch him in his face, or you choke him, or you do something for yourself to feel your own individuality. Now everything changes. Sometimes you get picked on in school. We don't tell our parents. We just do what we gotta do. So now when you go home, you good Sally, you good Tyrone, and you just a regular. That when you walk out the door, you're somebody else. When you walk into school, you're somebody else. So you got splits in your personality that you make up because of the pressure you're under or the situation that you're imposed under. So these splits in your personality is not you yet. And the most important one, let's put this into it, reverence. What is reverence? Reverence is what you look up to. Everything you're doing from a child, you're in a state of copying now, because this is new to you. So your mirror neurons is just popping in. After a certain amount of mirror neurons pop in, you get slight changes in what's called neuroplasticity, where you just have things you don't know you could do it. I didn't know I could do it. I could do it. I don't know how. That's normal because you gave up your individuality. That was always in you, but you suppressed it. But as neuroplasticity come around, you mimic people. That's why we used to go to the karate flicks, go see X-Men and all that. You notice the kids now think they Spider-Man, they Batman. That's what's called mirror neurons. Every child does that until they develop their own individuality from taking all the information they assess around them and only taking the qualities out of it. That's what it is, quality and quantity. So now on that note, once you get all of this now and you finally 18, 19, it's a shame that it has to be in this stages of age. And that's the problem. So by the time you evolve, you're older. It's too late. So by 18, 19 is when you find your individuality. Meaning you have to leave your house because you was through reverence, you're gonna be like your parents. Most people, reverence is supposed to be to God. Everybody's supposed to be to God. But most of us, we actually put our reverence in our parents. So your parents could be an alcoholic, a crackhead, whatever. You want to be like your parents. And so you fear them, but love them, and want to be like them, hopefully, one day. That's what called reverence. But that only supposed to go to God. And a lot of us look at God without reverence. And so God has no power on us. All right, let me keep this going. What up? So now, with reverence, becomes, hold on one second. Okay, now with reverence, it comes now where you find your individuality. Because when you leave, you're first going to be your parents. You're going to go raise your kids, do the same shit your parents do. This is culture. That movie Soul Food. All y'all get together, have them barbecues. All this unconscious stuff. Everything that I'm telling you is already laid out for you. Nobody's laying it out. Everything is laid out, and all you're doing is sleeping and following the path that's already cut for you, not making your own path. So when you like that, because it's already a cut path, you don't have to look. You don't have to think. You don't have to do nothing. Your parents is your mirror neurons. You're mirroring them. So this part of you is unconscious. This is called a visual state of sleep. So what happens? Something happened. Dramas, start fear, violence, whatever it is the key to making you an individual. Where a lot of the things you thought you wouldn't do or believe is compromised now because you have to do it, or you see it, or you experience it, or you're being put under pressure to do something you don't want to do. Now come individuality. This is when you're not the one the parent raised, you're not the one the school said is going to be, the police officer, the teacher, the doctor. They program your mind by telling you what you're going to be when you grow up. That's the program right there. You're supposed to say, nothing, I'm going to be me. Am I correct? I'm going to be a human being. I'm a soul. What am I supposed to be? Expectations is what fuck us up. When you have expectations, you don't live up to them, you feel less about yourself. Expectations also make sure you sleep. If you expect something, what the fuck do you need yourself to do if you're going to expect it? You don't have to be involved in it. A nigga got his hand stuck out and you're going to pass them the baton. It's expected. All that's got to stop because you don't wake up that way. You stay sleeping. Stop expecting things. Always expect the unexpected. That's why God said he comes like a thief in the night. He's that thing you run from in your nightmares. It's unexpected. He catch you in your true nature. This is what this is going to tell you. You know, when we find ourselves, our individuality, which, before I start that part now, is governed by the commandments. When you don't have your individuality, you're susceptible to do right, wrong, convert a person, step, steal, rob. Because you haven't found yourself. It's from what you see on TV, who you hang out with, influences, prayer pressures. So the commandments is put there in place for that. But there is also above the law. This is from Romans on. You want to read about it, you can look in the first book, go to Timothy 1. It teaches you that the righteous don't have no laws. They're above the law and no commandment. And the commandment is only for sinners. Not sinners in the sense, because I got to fix that whole concept. There's no such thing as sin. When we say the word sin, we're talking about the moon, not our star, not our sin. Which now, I don't know why Catholics and Christians made it into a theological moral, but nah. But the fucked up truth is, of the fact is, there is no such thing as sin, and those that is sleeping, that we would call sin, you know, anything you would consider sin is actually blameless. There's the real word is blameless. When you're blameless, you're not conscious. God don't make mistakes. He ain't stupid. Fuck he gonna punish you for when everybody did this to you? No, you could go through life dealing with your pleasures and doing all that. All you're gonna do is keep coming back and reincarnate and do it again. That's all, which is what the elite want, the rich want. They designed the system that way, that you see Rockefeller from them, and every president is related. You're taking care of one family. You're taking care of one family, and when you make a kid, you're telling your kid to be a servant to that family. Stop making kids. Stop participating until we change the system. If they don't have no next generation to take up on and give their generation have to come down here with us and struggle too. Y'all giving it to them for free, for selling out for a little bit of change, but you don't get it. Anyways, man, that was deep. I have to pause on that one. Hold on. You know, when we get into this like that, right? It's like we have to fully understand that us is actually, I'm not saying, it's not in a biblical sense. We're not actually trying to, stop people from making kids, doing all this stuff. It's educating yourself, right? And putting yourself first in a position. You know, birds don't make babies first, or the eggs first. They make the nest first, and then they put the eggs in it. Us, we make kids and then go, oh shit, I gotta support them, and go get bullshit ass jobs. And you could be a higher being, then you get through mental problems because you never ascended, but your kundalini still activating and you're seeing things. This all makes sense, that you have to make sense out of what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? I just want you to. Alright. So, once you find your individuality, and I know I'm skipping where I left off, but I can't rewind this video all the time. Because when I be going, it's channeling. That's how it works. So, when we find our individuality, it's like we assume now a whole new spirit, a whole new personality, which now triggers a chain of events, which would be, you will be compelled into the underworld to let you know you're being liable for all your action. It's called the weighing of the heart. You're not being judged, but you do have a position in nature, in the spirit world, in the ethereal world. So you're going to be put in your position of where you're going to be tested with everything, how brave you are, everything, temptations, those desires. They're going to test you. And once you get to your peak and you looping and looping and can't go no further, that's your position in life. That's who you really are, your true nature. So we're taught as angelic beings not to listen to words. You can't talk to me. You understand? You're supposed to detect a person's energy, or you could just be around them and detect their cycles, their habits, their stuff. So what they say, they're always going to lie, because that's how demons work. We got to understand, when I say demons, I don't mean we're demons, but we are demons. That's who fathered us. You're a composite being of everything. And if you can't establish yourself and understand all parts of it and reject one part, you're rejecting God with any part you reject. God is the full. He's the whole. He's the, what we say in CERN, the God particle, the missing link to everything that holds it together, the glue. Whether good or bad, it's still in there. So if you can't accept it, it's your consciousness that is stuck, and you need to ascend or understand it more. So, on that note now, I hope this gives you a greater understanding of what is meant by you seeing but you can't see, you're hearing but you can't hear, and you're talking but you can't hear. The three monkeys: see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. You don't need to. This is what speaks for you, your third eye. And your job is to open it by finding your individuality. And once you get into the underworld and you get to your level, actually, as you enter the underworld, it mirrors in your reality. If you could touch up on it, your dreams, your meditation, and your reality align itself, and they all work together to assist you to remember that you're an angelic being, you're a higher being. God created only a soul. The flesh and all that stuff is another journey, and all this other stuff with you being educated by, the Saxons that took over, and the education is not true. It's actual, that's subject to change at any time. So you can't indulge your mind into it. You can't say your color of your skin is, and you can't fight for us. You got to fight for yourself and free yourself first. Once you do that, everybody will see, because they're sheeps. They follow what they see, and they'll do the same. That's how it works. But you come in to be the savior, that becomes egotistical. That means you're only doing it to save the people, which was your wrong journey. You're doing a journey to go up to God. God comes down through you, and He do everything. I just want you to understand these facts. I'm just coming back now. I just had to chop it up with y'all. It's a lot to say, a lot to do. I'm going to tell y'all about the astral. It's deep. It's a lot going on with the astral. But we got to get our senses right. I know it's easy for me sitting on an island, trees, paradise. But it's hard in the city. It's hard for you that's in the United States. It's very hard. It's very hard. You understand what I'm saying? It's like when I come there, it's so much distractions. There's so much going on. There's so much tension. So much gunplay. So many things pulling on you. I feel for y'all out there. Nobody could come out and get some sun. We go back to the vitamin D thing. You need 45 minutes in the sun just to for your body to synthesize vitamin D. Well, these type of things, I don't even see it happening. So we in a state where not only can we wake up through the light, but we not even getting our right nutrients or following the right circadian rhythm. So, we have to make time. Make this information count for you. Pick it apart word by word, piece by piece, and then you will see your life is going to improve as you get more aligned with natural things, with God. The world is getting bugged out. Don't let them think food got anything to do with it. Eat whatever you want, whether it be from vegetables to meat. All of it is the same. It's all light. You understand what I'm saying? Don't let nobody kid you. And your body only run off a lymph. If it takes it in, I don't care if it's vegetables, it's going to turn to lymph. If it's meat, it's going to turn to lymph. It doesn't matter. All right? That's the truth of reality. But anyways, you don't need food, period. Get yourself off the eating. Eat only because you have to. Keep praying, meditating, and stay away from energy vampires. Most of the time we eat. If you're eating food from a corporation, a box, anything that's processed, it kills your cells. You're dying. So by eating a food that kills yourself, you're killing yourself faster than the predicted time you're supposed to die. You're better off not eating. But now you have to eat. So what could you eat? You got to eat foods that's from God, real food, plant-based foods that's actually going to boost your cells and heal your cells. So be careful of what you eat, because you're eating stuff that it might not be poison, it might not be something that's going to kill you, but dead. Meaning when you eat it, it sucks the energy out of your cells. And your cells never regenerate. Keep that in mind when you're eating that bad food. That's how you kill yourself, with bad food. Every meal, you're killing off your cells. With no power in it to regenerate. You feel it. You ever eat and you still feel tired, weak, even though your belly is full, you probably still want to eat again. Those are cell killers. Or you just drained all the time, even after you eat, you're still weak and want to lay down. Bad cell food. Eat plants, man. All plants. That give you straight energy boost. Then it stop those energy vampires. You see, with them energy vampires, after a while, they have to stop taking your energy if your energy keep growing. If you keep letting them suck from you, they're going to keep coming back. If they suck, they stop and say, oh, she's going to have more tomorrow. Oh, she's going to have more tomorrow. But if you give them a big blast of energy, they ain't coming back. That shit, they're going to make them go, oh, shit, that's enough. So you got to understand that. That's a real truth right there. I tried it, I tested it, it works. You understand? Turn your energy up now, man. If you getting negative succubuses on you and you can't say no, right in front of them is when you turn it up and say, hell fucking no, get the fuck out of here. All that extra shit. You have to do it. If not, you're susceptible and you're liable to get your energy sucked, and then that right there will be considered a crime to your own self. Because you're not in yourself to wake up. You're following what everybody else do. And probably in a situation and don't know it. Whether it be in a relationship, a friendship where your friend always getting you in trouble, always doing shit. We love desires and pleasures and that shit that give off our endocrinology system. Anyways, I'm back. University of Conscious Science. One love.